Welcome everybody, my name is Ryan and we are back with more vintage story today. This is episode 17 of my hardcore vegetarian only challenge. That's right. And of course we are down south in the tropical regions. There's some bamboo over there. It never gets cold, it never snows here, and there's some unique challenges too. But if you're new, I've got a link to the full playlist for this series down in the description of the video, so go check that out, get all caught up. Plus all my other vintage story content is linked down there too. But in our most recent episode, we finally decided on a permanent location for our base, and it's right here where I'm standing on this wonderful little shore. We've got the river over here, and to the south, the ocean. That's right. We did quite a bit of exploring too before settling down. Traveled around, obviously, just, a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 blocks or so from spawn, but original spawn's just up here. It will be interesting to return to it one day, for we've got some breadfruit over there I'd like to retrieve, but we might try and explore like a new route, instead of backtracking and going all the way through areas we've already explored. But we're talking about far in the future, that's for sure, because today we're going to be focused on building ourselves a house too. And it's not going to be out of dirt. Well, at least not the walls. For right now, we are going to use some rammed earth, I think, as like a temporary placeholder for our floors, but we'll eventually get some stone. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I've got the splitter plug molds ready to go, so I need to add on a second pit kiln, get those working. That shouldn't be too hard to do. In fact, I can probably just do it right here like this. Oops. Always got my trusty stack of dirt in the hotbar. Come on, can I get in there? Fall in. What's going on? There it is. So we'll put this here, try and avoid any grass, and yeah, we'll want a bit of a roof over it. Perfect. Now we've got 2 pit kilns. But again, this is all just temporary. So what we'll do is I'll get these started up here. I think we've got sticks. I know I have the grass for it. But then we're going to go retrieve a bit more building material. Yeah, I definitely have the sticks. Yeah, we managed to get a couple of stacks of kapok, some bamboo, which we are going to be utilizing. In fact, I've got a really cool mod. It's called Better Bamboo. Let's see, is it... Yeah, Better Bamboo right there. It's actually outdated, but it still works for the current version. So we're going to be able to make some interesting stuff. We'll be using bamboo and the natural woods around here, but we need a bit more. And I'd kind of like to find some of the green bamboo too. I just recently discovered that even exists in the game. So that's what's great about Vintage Story. It's so many little details and things. Just the sheer variety of mushrooms in the game is impressive by itself, not to mention butterflies as well. But there's a whole collecting mini game you can get into as well. So I think, yeah, we better stop talking and start using our daylight wisely. So like I said, I'm going to set up a couple of pit kilns, get those lit, and then we're on our way back to the jungle over there just to harvest a few resources. All right, just crossing the river. Eventually, I am definitely going to build a bridge across it too, but that'll probably take less priority than just getting ourselves, good shelter with a roof above our heads. But we're going to grab a mixture of wood and bamboo. Very good, very good. This stuff will grow back really quickly. All right, let's see. Let's get some wood too. The trees themselves. Oh, I brought 8 kapok seeds with me, and most likely I'll keep those and plant them on the other side, back on our side of the river over there. I just didn't decide where yet. Let's see. Okay, there's a couple of good big kapoks. Gotta be careful. All right, we want to tower up, probably. Yeah. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I've still got a little durability on my copper shears here. Got my water with me. We're prepared. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and fill up on sticks. This, of course, makes it quicker, too, to chop the tree down, so I'm not standing there just staring at a tree trunk for an obscenely long amount of time. Makes it a bit safer, although this tree isn't that large, but you know how it is with some of those bigger trees. Man, oh man. They can take several seconds to actually chop down. But, alright, let's tower up completely. I see another seed down there, too. Yeah, and from this position, we should be able to scout out our next tree, too. There's not many here, is there? I think there's another one, yeah, just hiding. Well, that's okay, because to be quite honest, Kapok is a nice-looking wood, but it's kind of plainish, you know? I definitely want to go venture out and get some redwood. Yeah, which, oh, what am I doing? We have seen some redwood trees fairly close, but it's going to be a trek, so we'll probably take either the boat or the raft for that. And it's not going to happen today. Yeah, I think today. Wow, look. Wildvine literally grew on my dirt tower while I stood there. Okay, either way, let me recollect my dirt, and we will continue stripping the jungle. Well, I was jumping around over here on this side of the river, still collecting a bunch of bamboo and wood, and I found this hole. So I figured maybe let's take advantage of it and see if there's any kind of minerals down here. I'll also take a sample. Huh. Looks like we have more daylight. Oh my gosh, what is that? Oh, it's the bottom of a coral reef. I thought it was bony soil for a second, but that should be impossible. Well, that's interesting. For one, there's a coral reef in the river, but that's not surprising because the water is salty. But, wow, I've never seen the bottom of the coral reef. Let's take a drink, and I do have a bit of food with me, so we'll eat real quick. You can see my shears about broken. I should take this opportunity here, too, to put some stuff in my little basket that I brought. Yeah, we'll put all that away for now. Beautiful. All right, put that back on. And yeah, let's take a sample. Long range. I don't think I've sampled anything this close to our base yet. No, just up there. So either way, let's do it. 2 more. Okay, 1 more. It's pretty dark, but we're safe. Ooh, poor halite. Now that's actually really good to see that. Although I've learned from chatters in previous series that using short range to detect halite does not work. Halite's not like the other minerals, the metal minerals, I guess you want to call them, but it will show up in long range, I guess, just give you an idea that it's in the area. What we want to find, and regarding halite, is a sedimentary layer. I don't know if sandstone counts. Oh, halite rock right there. So it does count. Or at least I assume that's what that means. Yeah. So it's possible we could get some salt, which will be amazing. Because although I haven't yet, I do plan on installing the food mods. Absolutely. Alright, I just got to be careful when I come back above the ground. Make sure there's no big cats around, but I think that right there is another K-Pox, so I'm on my way. Well, I found this really extensive cave system. It's funny too, because it just had a tiny little opening in the surface, but yeah, there's many different branches. We're pretty far down. We're on level 64, but yeah, I'm not actually doing any mining. I don't know, I get distracted easily. But coming down here, I figured, hey, there we go. Black coal. Oh, that's a big find. Oh, and we got fire clay right next to it. Now, that's not guaranteed, but this is the first time I've ever actually seen it from beneath, just like that coral earlier. You know, this is kind of too much of a temptation. I'm going to put that down so we have light and it's not my offhand, because I don't have a lot of food and water left. But yeah, I think I'm going to grab some of this. I mean, I've already been thinking that we'll need to start making fire clay for hematite, you know. We need it for the for the bloomeries and stuff. But this will save us a little bit of trouble, although it doesn't last forever. But this is a big find. And maybe I'll take a stack of black coal too. Yeah, I've got some inventory space left, but This will mean that we'll probably need to return home after this, but man, it always pays to go underground and just take a look around, especially in Homo sapiens mode. Okay, made it home safe and sound. I did sleep, but I got a little bit of work done over, during the evening there. I've got water boiled up, so we're good in that sense. And I've also got a crock pot full of food here, so we can continue to work. And I found a few onions, some carrots while I was out and about. I have to do something about the organization, but I'm really just putting it off till we start our building. There we go. Our splitter plug molds are done. I'm going to place these just here for now. We are definitely going to fill these up, and I want to make another shovel too. But, speaking of which, we got a few points with our XSkills here to place. Yeah, I got a point in mining and digging and one in survival. So, let's double up. Actually, Scout makes us go quicker. Ooh, that could be really helpful. Mana Thirst provides a cooling multiplier. That's cool. Yeah, the Hydrate and Dihydrate has a nice compatibility with XSkills. I like that. Let's actually do Scout. Yeah, increases speed by 5%. That could really help with those cats. Although, Nudist would be really nice too, because this actually boosts our movement plus other stuff. We'll do that. Maybe we'll come back and put one in Scout later on. Nudist is actually really good, and we're doing pretty good with it. So digging, what do we want? Clay, peat. Peat's irrelevant. Shovel expert, breaking a block increases digging speed. Digging chance to additional 1% digging skill, not to reduce durability. I think we'll go with shovel expert. Just speed up our digging. I like that. And mining. Oh, we've already put a point into ore miner, so we are getting extra. This is your mining speed. That's the same as what we just kind of saw with shoveling there. Let's do another point in ore miner. Yeah, that'll be helpful, especially as we're kind of working towards going out and getting that iron find. If you did miss previous episodes, yeah, there's a big vein of iron below ground right there, and that's not too far away from us at all. As you can see, it's kind of one of the reasons I set up my base here, but it is just a lovely spot. So real quick before we start digging out our foundation, let's see, where did I put that stuff here? There it is. So here's the coal, the black coal I got, and the fire clay. Let's grab the clay. I probably don't need all of it, but quick and easy recipe for that. So I think each kiln takes 12. So that's a good start. Yeah. And that's so helpful. I mean, we can obviously turn our regular clay wherever it is. I've still got a few stacks of regular somewhere. Yeah, we could turn this into it by baking the flint and then getting a cairn and grinding it, but it's a process. This way, bada boom, I've literally got the blocks, and boom, there we go. So this will be good for our bloomeries, yeah. And eventually we'll need to make steel, or this is kind of how we'll start to make steel, but we'll need better bricks than this. But anyway, that's a totally separate point. So yeah, let me get this started. And then I've got plans to just start digging out all of this here. I think once this shovel breaks, we'll go ahead and do another round of pouring out some tin bronze, and that's when we'll do our splitter plugs too. So we'll get another round of smelting going. I'm just trying to, stage it all out, stay as efficient as possible. And I am trying to hurry up and get the walls up, because I'm just constantly in the back of my mind thinking, boy oh boy, at any moment I could get attacked out of the blue here by a cat or something. So trust me, it is a priority. Alright, just laying out some of the rammed earth here, trying to get a big footprint. This might actually be like two separate buildings. I don't know. I don't really have a plan yet. I like to just kind of work spontaneously, let the creativity flow. Sometimes I have to just kind of sit and look at the area, but laying out the foundation first will kind of help to give me an idea. It'll kind of structure, the creative process, so to speak. But, well, we know what materials we'll be using for sure. I've got plenty of bamboo and kapok right now. And we'll definitely need more, but I think we'll hold off on going to get redwood for now. Let's see, maybe not. Is this the redwood right here? That might be. Well, either way, I should probably do that smelting I talked about. Yeah, our tin bronze shovel has just broken, and although I am going to repair some of these probably before we get into iron, I like to have two of the important tools, so that when one breaks, we can still continue to work if need be while we're waiting for like the metal to cool and stuff. But so in other words, we need a second shovel and definitely another. Wait, do I need another pickaxe? I think we've got one, don't we? Yeah, I'm going to grab that and put that in there because this thing's about to break. Oh, our good old bismuth bronze pickaxe. We made this. This was our first piece of bronze right here for sure. And it was, we just barely got it by panning thanks to the zinc that appears when you pan. But, all right, so we'll need this, a little bit of charcoal, not a lot. And yeah, let me go ahead and grab the metal. Let's see, I've got everything spread out everywhere. So, yeah, I'll probably do a straight up mix of it since we need a bit more. It's good to keep these tins bronze too, at least for now, while we're still actively repairing bronze stuff. But the copper bits, I'm actually going to use those for smelting because I'm not going to be repairing any copper tools, that's for sure. But, you know what? Let's take a brief pause to go plant these breadfruit while I'm thinking about it. We need to get them in the ground. So what we'll do, I was going to continue the garden in this direction. And of course we can come over here too. Let's think about this. Where do we want to put it? Garden doesn't have to be immense, since we're not going to be like keeping pigs or much livestock at all. Maybe goats and chickens, but yeah, we can keep it relatively small. Let's put them over here because we do need to spread them out a bit from each other at least. So we'll put the first one right here on the edge. That's fine. And then we want to allow at least 8 squares between them. Sometimes I like to go 9 or 10 too. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll just put the other one right here. So they are in line with each other, but because the branches on a single tree can grow up to 4 blocks away from the actual trunk, which is big. And it looks kind of silly when they do get that big. I mean, they get weird looking, but especially if you start to graft on trees. But this way, if you put them too close, that can interfere with each other's growth and inhibit some of the, fruiting places where you'll potentially get food from. But either way, that's perfect for now. It's got a little gap in between it in case I want to put a pathway this direction. We can still put one in between the branches and we don't get hit in the face every time we walk between the trees. But I'm going to hold back the other 2, put those right there, and yeah, that'll be just, hopefully those 2 will take, but if they don't, I'll just replace them with the ones we've got. I like to do that. Instead of laying all 4 out, we'll do 2 and 2. And again, I've mentioned that there are more breadfruit trees back home, so we'll travel that direction eventually, one of these days. Oh, another priority I mentioned, the dragon egg. I really need to get like I said, a fenced-in area. Maybe that's part of what I'll do over there. Yeah, we'll start with the fence. But, okay, first things first, let's get this metal smelted, and then we can proceed with all our big plans. Okay, we're looking good. Let's grab this, organize my molds a little bit. It's very important that we have them covered, though, because it does rain fairly frequently in this area. Of course, that can shatter the molds and ruin our project, but Let's actually take that out of there. I'll probably boil some water later. But speaking of rain, though, I have water from over in our little pond here. But I've also got a couple of barrels where the rain is starting to collect. So that's been kind of helpful. And I think it actually still does hurt. Yeah, it's not as bad as just regular straight up water from like a source block, but there is a little penalty with the rainwater. Still, it's like zero effort water, so it's pretty cool. I like that. I might get a few more barrels going for sure. Fire clay still going strong over here, so we're waiting on this. It's 8:30. Let's see. I probably will just go to bed. Yeah, let's actually put these away. But you might notice that I've got the dragon egg, and I only managed to get 22 fences made up with the granite. I thought the granite would look cool with the dragon. I didn't want to use wood necessarily, but it'll just be a small little pin for now. Obviously, once it fully grows, we'll have to make a design like a special area for it. But yeah. It's been recommended by some commenters to get him going, and I definitely want to, because this will be my first dragon. I've got some server members on my multiplayer Vintage Story server who have dragons, but personally, I've never trained or had one. So, let's start putting that in our offhand, and we'll just start in the corner. Again, it's not going to be very big to start with, so I just want to keep it all out of stone. You know how it is early on these settlements. I've got 6. You know what, let's push it back or open it up a 1 wider so that it'll be centered perfectly like this. I should still have enough fencing for that. Boom, there we go. We got a little extra. That's fine. We'll just shove it in one of our chests and, yeah, use that later to expand. But there we go. All right, dormant maple wing egg. And I think that's all we have to do for now. I'll have to look at maybe the guide. Pretty sure there probably is a guide for it. Or I can go to the mod page itself. And I think even a few commenters have left some helpful tips down before in previous videos after we found it. So, yeah, either way, I'll do that off camera. But I think we're good to go. It's got the hit bar. Anyway, I know we don't necessarily need meat for it, so it should grow regardless. There we go. Okay. And I'll leave the splitter plugs just where they are for now. But I need to get a stick and get back to work. This ground is not going to dig itself. And honestly, I think we might be at the point where we can start laying down the walls too. Yeah, let's do that together, in fact. So, grab a shovel, have a backup. Let's take our K-Pock. Probably going to need more of this, but I'm going to start fairly small, just with the house, the main house, and then we'll expand as we go. But you can see I've got it actually over the edge here a little bit. Yeah, I'll probably put like a false support there just so it doesn't look like it's defying gravity, but for now we're just, like I said, kind of shaping it out. I would like several more rows of rammed earth, though. Let's see, what are we over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. Yeah, I'd like that to be, you know, symmetrical. So have like another 4 blocks worth going out, but that would be an absolute crap ton of dirt. So let's just start with where we are. Okay, so what I like to do, this is something I've used before, is, yeah, these quarter logs are great. It's going to be interesting. First time I've ever quartered up some K-Pock. This stuff could really look good, and maybe if we even use some strip bark logs too. But either way, I like the way these look as a base. I'm not necessarily going to do we have any dirt? Also, that needs to go down there. That goes down there. Yeah, I need a little bit of dirt. Gosh, I have none whatsoever. And that's just not safe. So hello, Mr. Deer. Oh, that's right. Run away, run away. We're peaceful, deer, but they're still afraid of me. Yeah, let me go ahead and dig up a little dirt. I'm going to use it for building purposes, but we also just have to have some, in case we get ambushed. I can always tower up using it. Well, I did read in the guide here, Guide to Raising Dragons. It says it just needs enough space around it. I suspect since we're talking about a dragon, this might not be big enough, so I'll have to extend it quicker than I thought. But speaking of extending things, I did go ahead and take the time, dug a bunch of dirt around the side of the hill there, so I made it symmetrical. And it's now a nice big open area for us to work. So let's get started here. Like I said, little placeholder dirt for the corners. I think I'm going to leave 2. So that'll be the corner. We're going to lay them horizontally like this. How close do we want to get to the maple wing? This stuff's interesting looking. It's almost got like a greenish tint to it, but then again, it has almost like a gold look as well. I kind of wish I had stripped it first, but that's okay. Like I said, it's just going to be a base layer. Well, damn it. I'm going to need to make a wrench. But there's no wrench mold, is there? It's alright, I've got some ingots. It's getting pretty close. Let's do this. We'll leave a gap of 2 between here. So that would be right there. Yeah, just like we did with the edge. So then we can continue around this way. I'll probably leave this space open right there for a door. Let's see. Yeah, that way we can walk right out and take a look at our dragon. Yeah, and if I need to extend the pin, I'll do it back in this direction, essentially. Yep. So, let's continue around. I have to find something that goes good with this. Might just end up being more K-Poc, you know what I mean? But, alright. Actually, let's use this axe so it breaks. Does that not use any durability on the axe? It's interesting. I've never... 22. 21. It did, just a very small amount. Okay. Either way, I'm trying to finally break that axe, but it's like the unbreakable axe. Alright, so we come to this position right here. Boom, boom. And we're getting there. Probably going to have to use the rest of my K-Poc, though. But there's plenty of more. We will have to do a bit of a hike to go get it. Yeah, that little bit of jungle on the other side there. It's getting pretty sparse on the K-Poc. Yeah, there's another one over there, though. Alright, let's go. And yeah, we're definitely going to have another door in the front. Right here. Gosh, my axe. It's never where I need it. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, a little bit more. And I think we've got just enough. Bam. So now, how do we do the corners again? Okay. Corner the corners. Got it. I think I'll need a bit more. We need just 4 of them, right? Let's see here. I'll just make the rest of it. Move that. Yeah, it gives us more than we need. That's fine. You know, if we expand the house or add on like a little, you know, I don't know, abutment or a side part, we'll need more of this stuff. It's always good to have extra. All right, let me dig these out. And I think if we look in that direction, no, shoot. Because I don't have a wrench, I have to place this perfectly. There we go. So if I'm looking in that way, is that how it's going to go? Take this out. Beautiful. Yeah. You don't have to use the corners, obviously, but it does kind of make it all come together nicely like that. Looks like a true log cabin in a sense. And bam, there we go. So we've got our foundation. Just one big ugly open room, but we could further subdivide it, or what I'll probably do is add a second story and then a basement too. And who knows what else. Maybe we'll start to dig into the side of the hill too. Have a little underground area there. But, well, it's a good footprint, but we've got a lot more work to do. Oh, another thing. Yeah, let's keep going with these bloomeries, because in addition to needing them for iron, I would also maybe like to incorporate some glass into our build. And of course, with a bit of quartz, some charcoal, and the bloomeries, boom, there we go. Yeah, we can start to. We'll do 2 of the bases, and then we should have enough for 2. Perfect. Look at that. Exactly what we need. And I don't think these will actually catch the local grass on fire if we just place them. I'm pretty sure they're safe here. I might surround them with I might still surround them with rammed earth just to be safe, because I got a bit extra here. But yeah, I'll need more quartz than I currently have, just a tiny little bit. But there we go. We can get some of that going, and I might as well, just use the rest of this. Probably not going to be much. 9 more. Oh boy, I'm going to have to go back to that black coal area. Spend some more time down there. Darn it, I just have enough for 1 more round of this stuff. Yeah. I hate to pause the building of the house though, so we'll just focus on work here for now. Yeah, the fire clay, like I said, a little bit of glass will be nice, but I don't need too much more. So let me get that pit started, and then we'll continue. Maybe we'll start to incorporate some of this bamboo too. That could be really nice. Grabbing my shears, and those are almost dead, so I think I'll take the tin bronze too. But I've changed my mind. I think we will go and retrieve that redwood. I'm pretty sure this is it. There might only be a couple up here, but really that should be enough. I mean, 1 redwood tree would probably build the rest of our house by itself, but I would like to get some of the wood and some seeds. Maybe we can plant a few closer to us. So I got some dirt. Maybe it's not a bad idea to grab the ladders too, just in case. Yeah, but okay, got another seed here. Let's go ahead and keep the dirt in the hotbar just to be safe. And we will head out. I like seeing on the map the progress we've already made, the little build up. It's not much, it's modest so far, but taking our time. It's a hardcore run, so I've got to be very careful, very deliberate with things, So let's make the trip. Should I have grabbed maybe my raft? No, we're going to have to cross the river, but only once, I think. And we might even be able to just cross it right there where it's super close to each other. So let's take this trip. I heard some goats too, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I didn't bring any fencing with me. I do have a little, carry on though, so we're ready to go with extra storage potential, but no fences. That's something I need to do though, is start carrying a stack of fences so that we can collect. Should I grab this? We'll leave it for now. Yeah, so we can start to hopefully get some animals domesticated. Could I mark these? I really need to adjust the auto marker. Okay, there's the horse. Be careful of the horse. Okay. Ooh, also, since we're coming into a savanna, if I happen to see an ebony tree, I'm taking that sucker down too. But, we got hyenas. And goats there just jumped off. No trees yet. Alright, I'll check these trees, see if there's any ebony in and amongst them. But, oh boy, you know what? I didn't bring my bed and I just realized it's getting dark. Shoot. Well, we'll just make a straw bed. I'll probably have to sleep up in the branches of a redwood just to be totally safe. But hey, that actually sounds kind of exciting, kind of fun. Yep, definitely losing some light here, but there's also no ebony, sadly. Although I decided to just go ahead and cut down the acacia trees, which were here, because that wood is pretty nice looking too. And it might actually kind of pair well with the redwood, since it's almost like a reddish oranges itself. So I know it's hard to see. We got dying light here. But I'm actually considering, I think, running back after I take down these couple of trees. It'll allow me to empty out the backpacks, maybe plant these seeds over by the base. But I also realized that I only have the one axe and it's almost broken. There's no way I can chop down a whole redwood or even two like I was hoping, with just this broken axe. So, yeah, I didn't plan this out too well. Didn't think ahead. I was a little bit, I don't know, distracted. I'm very distracted. But either way, nothing new about that. I figured maybe I'll just continue to chop these until it breaks. But yeah, we're going to have to break out the forge and the anvil and repair these axes. Woo, points. But I'd hope to get the house up before then, but it's no surprise. Axes are always one of the most used tools, at least for me. And this is good. We're getting a whole bunch of wood. It's just not exactly what I wanted. But I'm also thinking the redness, this deeper red color from the acacia, that might look a little bit nicer with the that greenish tint. Green and red, I believe, are complementary colors on the color wheel. But, alright, I got to be a little bit careful heading back home just because of the sheer amount of hyenas. And I don't want to douse my torch going into the river. But we will save our little adventure to the redwoods for the next episode. I think that's probably the smartest thing. That will allow me to maybe test out the acacia on the house, see how that looks. But we're definitely going to go to the redwood forest in the near future. I want to just get this house built as soon as possible. So either way, guys, it's been a kind of a laid back episode. I hope that's all right. And of course, we'll return to our exploration and all the other exciting and fun stuff that we do as soon as the house gets built. But when that does happen, I think hitting up the hematite, getting that going, is going to be a big priority. And who knows, by that point, maybe we'll be sitting on top of some flax so that we can actually start to think about a windmill too. Oh my gosh, so much to do, guys. The series is still young, so I hope you'll continue to tune in. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I will see you guys on the next one.